Hello and welcome to Home versus House. I'm Lisa, and this is a channel where I share budget-friendly home decor and lifestyle ideas. Guys, today I am bringing you my backyard space again. This time though, I'm highlighting the elevation of my garden so far, and just I'm gonna walk you through, and I'm also going to walk you through on some of the things that I did to elevate my garden, just to give some ideas of, if you have a space, how you can develop it and raise it a bit, elevate it a bit, in a budget friendly way. So guys, stay tuned. But yep, this is my backyard garden. I'm actually giving you a view. So I'm in my home in a window, and I'm just looking onto my backyard space for some of this video feature, and just showing you again an elevated point of view. All right, guys, well, stay tuned to the rest of this video, and hopefully my tips and tricks of elevating my garden can inspire someone to do likewise. All right, here we go. Okay, guys, so this is a ground level view of the elevation points in this garden. So let me start with this metal hook here. I have had this for quite some time. It was a thrifted item. In fact, most of the pieces back here are thrifted or DIY or a combination of. But this piece I recently took, I had it propping up some of my rose bush on the side of my home, and I recently took it out from there, and I added this little "This Is Us" sign that I've had for a couple of years. I think I picked that up clearance for about 50 cents or a quarter at my local Dollar General. Over here, I just have some a DIY plant table that I have some plants sitting up off of the ground. These are mostly my indoor plants that I have out here, and then I have a couple of plant stands as well too, to add some elevation. And then I added this shelf last summer to just put some things on, and again to have your eyes go up while you're back here. So I use a combination of just thrifted pieces, as well as some tall plants, some vines, all ideas that I'm doing back here to elevate the space. These are some coneflower plants that I had gotten from my local library last year that came back. It was not as tall last year, but it has grown pretty tall this year. Over here I have my cucumber, which is a vine plant, and I just have it hanging over 3 metal pieces that I had picked up recently, well, springtime or end of winter time this year. It adds really nice elevation here. My DIY fire pit, which I may build up some more, but it's off the ground, so I also count that as an elevation point. I had gotten these pieces of metal gates from my neighbor. My neighbor was throwing it out, and I have used it in different places back here. But this season I'm using it as a trellis. I had some peas growing here that I harvested out a few weeks ago, and not only was it adding some elevation to this space, but it also was acting as a trellis for the peas. I have recently planted some winter squash, and they are already coming up, so it's gonna this is going to be a nice support for it as well. My tomato plants, so these are purple tomatoes. This was my first year planting them, and I'm using a combination of some metal rods and metal supports that not only elevates it, but it also adds some supports to it. Let's see. On this side, I recently added some taller gates, also another way to elevate this space, and then some more DIY plant tables, and I have some plants sitting up there off of the ground. This was a thrifted wicker laundry basket that I have some hellebore growing in here. It grows pretty slow, so I'm waiting to see. Probably next year I'll have something that's worth looking at here. And then furniture pieces are other things that I use back here to just kind of elevate the space. So I have this wicker chair in this corner, and then I have this planter elevated with two weights up against the chair. Bordering the space, I've used some metal garden fence that I had ordered from Walmart online, and so I just have it bordering this area, also adding some elevation. Recently I planted some more mammoth sunflower down on this side, and they are growing. So they grow to about 12 feet or so. So I planted them just all along here, and so they're coming up. So they are probably going to pop nice and tall for the fall. I have 3 shepherd hook lantern combination back here, also adding some elevation. These were thrifted items that I have had. The lanterns I've had for quite some time, and I used it in the inside of my home for many years, and now I'm using it out here. Along this border, I've planted some wildflowers that's growing nice and tall and adding some elevation here. I also recently planted 6 honeysuckle plants that are vines, and so I'm looking forward to next year it thickening out along the fence. This metal piece was a recent thrifted piece that I picked up. I thought it would add some nice elevation. And then back behind my hostas, I have a metal piece, as well as I'm stacking some stepping stones, and that adds some good elevation to this area as well. I'm hoping to do a project alongside back here, this little strip, to hide this 2 utility pieces. So, but that's to come, and I'll see how that turns out. This planter, I have some hellebore growing in there as well, and then I have just this thrift flip seating area that is also adding some elevation back here. I have this metal planter that has some plants growing in there, and then back behind it I'm also stacking some of the stepping stone in that corner as well too, to add some symmetry to that space. My summer squash continue to just be along this border. They're coming in quite nicely. I have on the other end, I think I saw 2 squash that's already there. These 2 pieces or thrifted pieces that I've added here, I'm calling this my secret garden area, but it's not so secret. And then alongside here, I have my some more mammoth sunflower that I've planted this spring. And again, they grow to about 12 feet or so, and so they are nice and tall, and I just have them all along this border here to add some privacy but also some elevation, right? I see some sunflower already coming up at the very top, so super excited about that. There's another one here. And then over here I have my beans, some beans growing, and I also use some of the metal gates to add some elevation and act as a trellis for my beans. Here I have some Cosmos wildflowers that self-seeded from last year, and they grow nice and tall. Adding some really good elevation here. This is a second shepherd's hook and a lantern next to my my lily plant. And then here, this is a makeshift shaded area that I did a little bit ago because I have some lettuce and some spinach growing in there, and this is a pretty sunny spot, so the leaves were burning out, and that was my accommodation for that. Up alongside the house, I added some metal pieces just to take your eyes up again. All right, guys, so I am at the end of this video where I'm showing my backyard space, which I have shown several times on this channel, but today I was just highlighting my elevation. I was looking at it from my back, from my upstairs window, and I just wasn't really impressed with the elevation, and I thought I would come on and kind of share how I am achieving, and I say am achieving because I still am working towards developing the space, but I was just really satisfied with how it looks, how my eye took me off the ground, and this was a space, guys, that was just a hot mess last summer. It was just overgrown weeds and bush back here, and I'm just really pleased with how it looks. So I hope this inspires someone to get started on their space. Just start a little bit at a time and watch it grow and develop. All right, guys, take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.